Yo, what up guys, it's Vernon, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing a VOD review from a guy who was, I think, bronze when he sent in the VOD, but he's actually silver now. And right off rip, what I can tell is you haven't been playing that many games, you're pretty new to the game. So I think you probably need to play a bit more to see where you actually are. You know, you need to play like maybe 50 games total to see like where you stagnate at and get your actual rank. But barring that, I do think that I'm going to keep it simple here because I think that because you're new, I don't want to convolute this video with things like lineups and things of that nature, things that are more complicated. I'm going to try to keep it really simple. And I believe you're playing Phoenix here, right? So what I can tell you right now is you have a very aggressive team, but you have no smoke. You have a very aggressive team with double duelist and KO. And then you have double sentinel, but no flank watch. So a couple things that I want you to note whenever you go into a game is your team comp. And what I can tell here is you're Phoenix, you should be the tip of the spear. Two, be careful of getting flanked because you don't have any flank watch like a KJ or Chamber, KJ, or Cypher. So those are going to be the main anti-lurk type characters. So you don't have any of them. Be careful of that. You also don't have smoke. Now, I don't know. I think you might have insta-locked here. Did you, or did everybody just lock in? Oh, skip forward. I don't know. But if your team isn't going to go smoke, even though you main duelist, I would recommend you play smoke just because of how powerful it is, and not having smoke can be a death sentence depending on how good your team is. Sometimes you can win either way. But anyway, let's go straight into the video. I don't want to keep this pre-round stuff too long. So I want you to be aggressive. You're playing Phoenix and you have no smoke. So you want to take the site as quick as you can before they can basically retake, and you don't have any smokes to block off their line of sight. And you're playing pretty far back already. There's 3 people in front of you and you're all the way in the back. If you're playing Phoenix, I want you to have a little bit of an ego and I want you to be pushing. And you have your molly. So what I would be doing here if I were you, because you have teammates helping you hold this angle, pull out your molly and try to molly behind this box here. That way you can push in without them being able to wide swing you out from behind the middle of the box here. Being able to, yeah, just use your molly to help clear sight. Getting the orb is actually not bad either. I think it's a free round. Your team played it pretty well. Oh, nice shot. Yeah, your team just rolled them. Nice, good shots. All right, that's clean. I like that you got the orb. Okay. I think you could have used your molly, but that's fine. Oh yeah, the the sage. All right, I like how you were jiggle peeking that. I think okay. I like that you were jiggle picking it, but here's what you need to notice. Like, if you're holding this angle, you don't need to hold here, right? Because like you're jiggle peeking. But because your deadlock and your sage are literally pushing out, and your deadlock is peeking pretty deep, you don't have to be afraid of a guy peeking from the left. You need to be rushing out and holding for a guy potentially behind this box, where my cursor is right now. Or because you notice that Reyna's alone, you might want to go short with her and let these two push long, because you never want to have only one person pushing one side of the map by themselves unless they're lurking, because you want to be able to trade them. And if they lose their 50-50, then you're just down a player and you can't trade them. So be more aggressive and look to help your team. Help your Reyna here, maybe. I think your Sage actually realized that your Reyna's going alone and rerouted. So good on your Sage. You're really far back. If you're going to push down A main quickly, then you should be where Deadlock is, and Deadlock would be like in front of where you are. You're playing too passive here. You're taking way too long. Like right now, you can see on the minimap, Reyna's peeking Deadlock. You can't trade him here. If he gets one tapped, you're just shit out of luck. You need to be pushing. If your teammate is starting to peek, then I want you to be pushing forward to help him immediately. Don't second guess it. If he's peeking, you help him. Generally. What are you doing? I think you look... Wait, why did you look at him? Why did you look at him? He's peeking. Peek! Peek! What you just let him die and then you looked at him? Okay. I think... I've noticed a pattern from last round. I think you need to be more aggressive. I think you're too scared. Like, you're just unsure if you should peek or not. Good rule of thumb, if your teammate is peeking, then help him. That's just unlucky. With the ghost, you need to shoot, especially at that range. You need to be shooting a lot slower. And because you have so much time, neither of you are moving, by the way. I would recommend learning how to strafe and shoot, but that's a bit more complicated. You can learn that later. Readjust to the head. If if he's not moving and you're in a battle, just aim for the head here and shoot slower, because you're not going to be accurate at this range with the ghost. That's kind of where you went wrong. Go ahead and skip forward. Not the best around, but we'll shake it off. We'll review a couple more. And I want you to notice where you're positioned again. You have bomb. You shouldn't have bomb as duelist, 1. And 2, your Sage and your Deadlock are looking to push immediately. You should be where they're at. You need to be the tip of the spear as a duelist, because their utility isn't good for peeking. You have a blind to peek. You have a wall to help you push on the site. You can molly angles to help you push on the site as well. A Sage really, and a Deadlock have no utility to peek this angle or to push onto site. So you really need to be the one pushing, because you can blind for yourself. And their utility is great for post plant, like walling off one side with Sage, and then Deadlock can wall off another part of the push for the retake. There's a lot of different util options that they have. You need to be helping them get onto site, not playing so far back, if you can help it. Wait, how come... did you... Oh no. Okay, I think I couldn't really hear it, but I think you might have heard him rush here. The way you want to play it is you have a molly. You don't want to wall this off. It's kind of risky. You molly him. If you know he's tucked in that corner, bounce your molly off of the wall here. Bounce the molly high, bounce it off the wall here. It'll bounce back and hit the guy in the corner, forcing him to peek you, and you can hold a long angle from B and just shoot him as he peeks out with his judge. You don't want to wall that, and then you definitely don't want to wall it and then peek into it if he has a short range gun like a judge. So we'll go ahead and skip that. Yeah, definitely use your molly to clear angles. You don't want to wall that off, especially because he can jump through and just kill your team if you try to ignore him. And look at how passive you are again. I can definitely notice, like, you're extremely passive. You're always behind your team, kind of baiting them. You want to be decisive in the pre-round and figure out where you're going, and you want to be more aggressive. You're always baiting your teammate. Pretty much every round I've watched. Okay. Now that you have a sheriff, you have 2 options here. You now have a long range gun. What I would actually try to do, I know it's kind of complicated, at least at the CLO, you could try to get the orb to get your ultimate on C and then reroute to A and pop your ult and push onto site. Or if you want to commit to this play where you go B because your entire team is here and it's more simple, then if you're peeking this angle, you want to have your sheriff out, because if they peek you with a vandal and you have a stinger at this range, you're probably dead, and that isn't going to be a good fight for you. So I would have your sheriff out if you're going to peek here. But if you want to hold closer to this wall and push up and get close with your stinger, then you could pull out your stinger. You never want to be this far out with a stinger, especially if you have a sheriff. I would just pull out your sheriff and hold this angle and help your team push. Or you could just run up B confidently, blind in, wall off one part, blind in, and then push and fight close angles with your stinger. That's another good option, but yeah, you don't want to be this far out with your stinger. Okay. And another thing as well, you have the shit gun, you have a stinger, and your Sage has bomb and has a vandal and is a sentinel. You need to be in front of her and let her trade you. Let her kind of bait you, because you have a shit gun anyway. If you die, it doesn't matter, she'll get the trade. And if you don't die, then good, you got a kill with your bad gun. Yeah, and you can see obviously what happens right there when you have a stinger and they have a long range gun. You just die, So we'll go ahead and skip that. Are you guys saving? You guys might be saving here. No, your team is buying. At least you're Sage. I can't really see what your team bought. But if your team is buying, then you always want to buy with your team. Yeah. They're buying up. You bought a Marshall when you can buy a Vandal. Always buy up with your team. Never not. Even if you can't even buy a Vandal, buy up. Also, if you're gonna pop ultimate, you want an actual gun. Okay, not only that, but you use your ultimate really far away from this corner. If you're going to pop your ultimate, you want to be close to an angle, that way you can take a fight immediately. Because you're wasting a lot of time ulting back where you did and running up to try to PC long. So yeah, you need to have a gun, you need to ult closer to the wall, that way you can get into a fight quicker. And let your team bait you. You have a free life. You want them to bait you. Yeah, you definitely should have bought up. Especially with your ulti, if you plan on using it. Look at your teammate here, okay? Another... Okay. Here's a good rule of thumb. You know, like, the better play when you have player advantage is not to take any risks, right? But you're playing solo queue, and you're in, you know, middle to low elo. So what you want to do here is a bad play from one player is a bad play. But a bad play from 3 players is a plan. So if you notice that your KO and your Reyna are pushing, even though you know you probably shouldn't because you have player advantage, then help them. Even though it isn't the greatest play here, you should be helping your Reyna immediately. Because look, if you helped Reyna, you probably would have killed the Jet, right? Instead, you kind of let them die. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is not a very good position, but maybe you get... Ooh, okay. That post plant, if you have the bomb planted in the open like you did, and they don't have any way to smoke you off, you might as well play long with Sage, and then just shoot them when they try to defuse the bomb. But you got it out anyway. You won the round. You went with the Ghost play. That's like a pro level gut play here. Because a Ghost, when the enemy team has no armor, is still a one-tap. So yeah, I think the Ghost isn't a terrible play, but I would probably buy up, especially if your team is buying. Unless you want to like ego buy a Vandal next round and you want to save for it, but let's go ahead and skip forward here. Alright, yeah. You're buying a Vandal round 3, which is kind of what you want to do if you bought a Ghost on round 2, which is fine. Or if you didn't buy up. Alright, your team. Okay, yeah. Definitely go peek. I like that. Definitely peek and help your Sage. Oh! Man, that is unfortunate. At least you tried. I like that you were trying to peek and help him immediately. It is unfortunate he killed you, but... I mean... Or, alternatively, if you know... Like, if your Sage died before you could peek, if you're not confident on taking that fight, the only real way a Marshal will kill you is long range. So you can avoid fighting him and play a closer angle and use your AR, you know, being able to spray with your the AR to your advantage. But whatever, that's fine. Your team, okay, your team's saving. Why are you holding so high here? I feel like you were pre-aiming a little too high. You were peeking. I like that you were trying to peek it. That's fine. So what you do here? You're holding C again. Okay, you've held from the left side on this box like every round on C. I think in higher elo, people will definitely pre-aim you if they know that you only peek from one side. So if you want to catch the enemy off guard, then you want to peek C long from different angles. So you can peek from on top of this little box right here. You can peek from behind this box. But you don't want to be peeking from the same angle. You become too predictable, and the enemy team could definitely punish that. And your Phoenix blinds for sure need work, but I think you should watch a Phoenix guide, honestly. I'm not going to go too in-depth with it, but yeah, definitely hold the Phoenix guide. Okay. Let's take a look at the minimap. You have one person pushed up A, 2 people mid, and you're walking off of C. You should not be walking off. You know they can't be A because look at KO and Sage. They're not B because, and you have, even if they go B, you have 2 people hard holding it. The only weak part of the map is gonna be C. So you should for sure not be leaving C, especially because Deadlock's little trip thing doesn't go off if people walk by it. So the enemy team can literally be walking up garage and walking from into your spawn, or walking up C long at this point. So you really need to not give up C, or if you want to play retake for whatever reason, you can. but I would definitely peek garage. No matter what, I would peek garage and keep that locked down. And if you want to give up C because you're scared of being alone, that's fine. But at least hold some part of the map and don't give up too much pressure. Because right now you're like leaving C and for no reason. And you have no info. Like they could just be walking out. You should be jump spotting. Again, that's a little bit more complicated. And look, yeah, they're trying to walk up garage. They're walking up B in garage. You need to be careful. They could for sure walk by that trip. Nice kill. Oh no. Oh no. That's unfortunate. I mean, they went B. And what I said didn't really matter because they didn't go C, but they definitely can. Right, let's go ahead and skip forward. Take a look at what... Okay, you know they didn't get anybody C. Ooh. I feel like your aim is actually kind of good. You're like one-tapping people when you actually take a fight. I think your issue is that you're not fighting to your strengths. Yeah, you're getting a lot of one-taps. I feel like your aim is pretty decent, especially for your rank. You're definitely above your rank in terms of aim. That is for sure. And if you, again, you have a stinger here, do not be peeking a long range angle with it. Hold a close angle. Okay, you're rerouting. That's fine. Me, knowing that we're at a player disadvantage, I'd probably peek out a garage because I know Reyna and Jet were there, but I mean, you don't have to. But you're going to have to retake now with a stinger. So you're basically going to lose the round no matter what. That's fine. I think if you sure up a bit of your decision making and helping your team and being more aggressive, I think you'll definitely climb at least. I think you could climb to plat, probably. At least plat, if you just sure up a little bit of your aggression. Get out there, yeah, peek, yeah, there you go. Now I would blind. There you go, blinds, nice. Change your angle, perfect. I like everything you're doing here. I like it. You have a little off angle too, a little weird height glitch. He's in cubby. Nice Molly. Oh shit. Oh no. Okay, I think it's funny that you looked at the Molly because you were like, oh no, what am I doing? But if you're in a ranked game, that is something you laugh about after the round. You should be helping your teammate here, bro. I know you mollied him, but fucking help him, please. You just watched him die. If you help him, like, you could definitely lose a round here if the Reyna's cracked. Let's go ahead. Yeah, you kill him anyway, nice. Killed the Reyna. You're definitely aim diffing a lot of the people in your rank. Let's go ahead and see. Again, you give up C, man. Like, look. Like, you peek C long, and then in your head, you're like, okay, I'm gonna rotate. No, man. Look at your minimap. Look at Reyna. Reyna's peeking. Reyna has no info, and he's peeking that. Nobody's crossed yet. Sage has walled B. Don't rotate, man. Don't rotate. Look at what happens when you rotate. If anything, I would walk over on top of this box over on C and hold that angle because you can peek into garage from this angle here. And then try to shoot anybody crossing into garage. And you could have prevented this by helping your team fight garage. Instead, you kind of early rotated for no reason with no info. And now your team's just getting punished for it. So definitely don't over-rotate with no info. Especially if you're the only one pretty much on C. You're just giving up way too much space. We're going to go ahead. You got to kill. Let's... Whatever. Yeah. Early rotating. Now is the perfect time for you to early rotate because you know that they're pushing A. So, yeah, perfect. If you know they're pushing A, then early rotate like you did. That's perfect. Nice. Okay, you have full util here. You could wall off. What I want you to think here is like, how am I going to use my util to push? Where can I wall to help my team push? Where can I blind? I would definitely waiting for the smoke is a good play. If you use your wall here, you could cut off. You could cut off this part and then push the people hell for free. Oh, there's a guy hiding to your left. That's unfortunate. Definitely should peek that, but it is what it is right there. Now you're in OT. Let's see how you played here. Okay, you're definitely pushing up with your team. I like that. All right, now you need to be pushing. Yeah, go, go, go. Get there, get on site. Nobody went short. You need to be extremely careful. You need to be extremely careful if nobody went short, but your team killed them. Now, it's kind of debatable whether you should push here and peek. I think peeking this is fine, but if you whiff your first couple shots and you know, you could either recoil control better, which is one way, or you could just unpeek the angle and not commit to the fight, which is probably what I would have done if, you know, I'm playing people of equal skill. I'll take a peek, immediately unpeek. It's too risky, and you could throw the round if you die. Let's go try to go to like near the final rounds here. This video is going to be way too long if I keep going here. See what led up to this moment here. I think you were, yeah, you were on C and you're early rotating. That's fine. Let's see what you do. Stage walled. You have no info on B. Careful for B lurk. And if you're not in danger, always be looking at your minimap. Okay. You have player advantage. You definitely should not be peeking this with player advantage. Oof. And yeah, now you make it a 3v3, which is very uncomfortable. No 2v2. Hopefully your teammates win this out, though. They might be able to. Yeah, definitely play numbers if you have a player advantage. Player number advantage. Oh, Nina.
Spike down A.
We'll just skip forward. See if you win the game here. Okay, you win the game. Okay. Couple things to reiterate. I think one, on attack, you need to be more aggressive. If you're playing duelist, you need to realize what utility you have, and if you're playing duelist, you have a lot of utility to push, so make sure to utilize it. Two, I want you to be thinking about like how you want to use your utility to push. I didn't really see you use your wall effectively or your molly effectively too often. I like that you were trying to blind, which is good, but definitely be thinking how you can use your wall and molly more effectively. And watch a pro player. Learn how they play Phoenix. I'm sure that you can watch Sick plays Phoenix on this map a lot. And definitely look up pros for better utility usage. On defense, definitely try not to over-rotate, especially if you have no info. And a lot of the time when you were over-rotating, your teammates have pushed up from like A very, very aggressively, and they haven't made contact yet. So that should tell you, if you're looking at your minimap, okay, they're probably going to work up mid, or they're going to like walk up C. So I shouldn't over-rotate. And that's something that you'll learn the more you play the game. But yeah, definitely don't over-rotate. So to end the video, I want to cover some of the things that you need to do in multiple of your games. One would be try not to bait your team when you're attacking. I want you to have a little bit of an ego and to be the tip of the spear for your team. Two, I want you to be thinking about how to use your utility to properly push. You didn't really utilize your wall, even though it's not that great of an ability. You can still use it to help you push and isolate angles without being peeked. And you could use your molly and blinds as well to isolate angles or to flash people for free kills. Three is to kind of have a game plan. Even if, you know, it's silver, so you can't really expect too much from your team. But even if you say, you know, let's go A, let's go C, I feel like a lot of the time your team wasn't really coordinated. A simple let's go A, let's go C, let's go B at this rank would suffice, in my opinion. And yeah, I think outside of that, your aim is really good. And I think you have some really good fundamentals in terms of peaking and not overcommitting, jiggle peaking, things of that nature. Stick to doing that, but try to be more confident, and I think you'll keep climbing. And on the defensive half, you were definitely more confident, which was really good, but try to use your utility to stall a push. I know we really didn't have too many instances of that, but that was primarily because you were over-rotating way too quickly, and that brings me into my second point, is that if you know that your team is pushing up, like if you don't know where they're at, look at your minimap. A lot of the time your team would be pushing up A with no contact. What that should tell you is that, hey, the enemy team isn't pushing A, they could be going C or through garage, we haven't made contact B, I'm not going to rotate, I think they might be pushing me. Now, if you're the only one on site, like which happened many times, you can play retake, but at least try to hold garage. That way you hold some semblance of like map control and then give up C for retake. That is fine as well. But try not to over rotate because you give the enemy team too much room. Or alternatively, if you think that they're not going C, then try to flank. Then try to, walk down C long, maybe take a fight outside of garage, any type of thing. Try to take map control. Try to be more aggressive. But I think if you keep playing the game, you take what I said into account, you're honestly going to climb into gold. And then if you keep pushing and want to do another VOD review where if you hit gold to learn more in-depth strategies and things of that nature, I can help you with that. But I hope this video helped anybody watching it if you're in silver or bronze like the guy VOD reviewed, and I hope Erebus, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I hope you found this VOD review helpful as well. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm out.